Hello. Hello. Hello everybody. Today we are talking about how do I become more confident? How do I feel more confident? I am so excited to join you today. As always, these are quick wins, under 10 minutes, actionable tips and tools that you can implement into your business and your life immediately. So as always, I'm Rebecca Lockwood, your neuro-linguistic programming trainer, neuro-linguistic programming coach, hypnosis trainer, and breakthrough coach trainer. So I'm so excited to share these tips with you today. So if you're on the podcast, I know obviously you can't see me, but let me know. Always, we have your free breakthrough sessions available. So if you're on the podcast or you're watching live, you can find the link in the description. So do go ahead and book one of them. It's always amazing to catch up with you and have a proper chat. So today then, how do I become more confident? So when it comes to confidence, there are so many different ways we could talk about this. And we could talk about confidence or self-belief, or confidence and self-belief together, because they do kind of go in together. And one of the things that we talked about last week on our NLP certification course, which was amazing, the ladies were amazing, and I feel so blessed and honoured to be able to deliver the course and work with so many amazing people. But one of the discussions that came up was about having part-time beliefs. So there's a technique that I teach within the NLP course that helps with inner conflicts, and helps if you sometimes, for example, if you felt really confident when you were delivering a presentation, but then other times you would deliver in the presentation and you didn't feel confident. So there's some tips and tools and techniques. There's a technique that I teach in the NLP course, but today I'm going to give you some tips and tools to help you if you've not necessarily learned that, or if there's a situation that you're in where you're just unaware that you're starting to feel like unconfident, or you're starting to feel a bit uneasy for just some unknown reason, or if it's something that you feel like all the time. So in situations where you just don't really feel confident, these tips are going to really help you. So the first one is to center yourself. So your body weight plays an important part in body language, and when you're equally balanced and grounded, your energy will give off a different vibe. Because have you ever been in a situation where you're buying something new, and maybe you go and speak to the salesperson and they're moving around all the time, they kind of seem a bit shifty, and for some reason unknown, it could be unconscious, for some reason you just don't feel like you trust them, or you feel like there's just something that's not right. Now, usually that is because unconsciously you're picking up the movement, and that gives off an impression and an energy of feeling like they're not trustworthy. So I know I can think of situations where I've been in the past where I've not necessarily been aware of it at the time, but I've just thought, this just doesn't feel right. And it's not necessarily that it's the truth that they're not trustworthy. I'm not saying that's a fact. What I'm saying is you just get the impression, and that's why. It's because they're being shifty and they're moving around a lot. So a great way to overcome this and to become across as more confident is to really center yourself. So center your energy into so ideally you want to imagine you want to pay attention to this area here, just below your belly button. And when you pay attention to that area there, it centers you and it grounds you. So it helps with unconscious movements. So if you're unconsciously making movements without being aware of it, it really helps with that. And it's something that we teach in so much more depth within the public speaking course that we're putting together for 2020. And it's really exciting. So your body weight plays an important role, and in body language, when you're equally balanced and grounded within your body weight and energy, you give off a more confident and welcoming vibe. So make sure you pay attention to the area just below your belly button and imagine yourself centered. So things like imagining roots in the ground from your feet, that can really help as well when you feel centered from your belly button into your legs and roots into the ground. And what will happen is it'll help you stop fidgeting. So it'll help you stop moving around so much, and also it'll really help just in your whole physiology as well. So naturally your shoulders may come back, your chin may move up, and you may speak from that area as well without being aware of it, which gives a more rounded presentation, and it gives off a much better vibe as well. So another thing is, whenever you feel, so this is number 2, whenever you feel like you're doubting yourself, it's all about the questions that you're asking yourself in your head. So it's all about your self-talk and what's really going on there. So instead of having the self-talk, which you may not necessarily be aware of, you may not really know that's what's going on, but that is the case. So when you're doubting yourself, you're just having negative inner self-talk. And what you need to do to overcome that is ask yourself a better question. So you can ask yourself a question like, how can I show up as the best possible version of me right now? How would I act, look, and feel, as the most confident person I can be? Just by asking yourself more of an empowering question, your mind begins to search for the possible answers, to find resources to support you with where you are right now. So that's a fantastic one that will help you become more grounded as well. But when you've got negative inner self-talk, that is a perfect question to ask, because it opens you up to find new resources and find more resources. And it also comes into like the internal representations that you're creating in your mind. So when you've got negative inner self-talk, or you're doubting yourself or your abilities, you're creating an image in your mind of you not being the best version of yourself, of you messing up or doing something wrong. Now, when you ask yourself a better question, for example, how can I be the best possible version of myself right now? How would I act, look, and feel? You automatically create a more empowering internal representation that makes you look more confident, that makes you feel more confident, and in return makes you act more confident as well. And thirdly, this is a brilliant one. So if you're just about to do a talk or a Facebook Live or deliver a presentation or even do a podcast, remember that, people are just people, like we are all the same. You can ground yourself by reminding yourself of that. Center yourself and bring your awareness into that area again, just below your belly button, your center. And you can also, feel into your heart. This will really support you to feel into your body and be more present in the here and now, rather than worrying about what people are thinking or something that might go wrong. Now, this is a really brilliant one, and I love it so much, because when when we get into situations where it's high pressure, we can automatically go into like overdrive, like, oh my god, what if this happens? Oh my god, what if that happens? And start worrying about things that haven't even never happened or that could happen but are really unlikely to happen. And by just placing your hand on your heart, taking a few deep breaths, it'll help really center you, calm you, and bring your awareness back into your body and out of your head. Yeah. And number 4, I'm going to give you a really, really brilliant technique here, which is a bonus because I think you'll love it. Now, in the NLP training, I deliver something called anchoring, and it's all about really understanding about states and how you feel. And so there's another way that we can use this, and it's by stepping into your brilliance. And you may have heard this referred to as like the circle of excellence, or the stepping into your brilliance, or the ring of power. There's a couple of different ways it's described. So basically what you want to do is imagine a circle on the floor that has all the resources within it that you require with where you are right now. So imagine the best possible version of you in that circle. Like, how would you act? How would you look? How would you feel? Imagine the best possible version of you in that circle. What would you look like? And then step into that circle, encompass yourself into the circle, and imagine yourself shining out into the world, doing good in the world, and really living your purpose as the best possible version of you. And then what you can do is you can use your imagination here, and you can even then shrink that circle and put it on your ring, put it on as a ring. And then whenever you need it, you can just imagine the circle expanding out in front of you, or even expanding around you, to really step into your brilliance and step into the best possible version of you. So that's it from me today. There are 4 brilliant tips on how to become more confident and step into your brilliance. Again, they're helpful for if you sometimes feel like you're a bit nervous, or if you always feel like you're a bit nervous, then tips will really help support you in any kinds of situations. So as always, I'm Rebecca Lockwood, your neuro linguistic programming trainer, hypnosis trainer, and coach trainer. If you need anything from me, please do reach out anytime. Make sure you go ahead and book your free breakthrough session. They are amazing. The ladies are getting amazing results, and it's so great to connect with you all properly and have like a good conversation. So the link for that is in the comments. But again, if you need anything from me, reach out anytime. Any questions, I'm here to help you. Have an amazing day, have an amazing week, and I'll catch you again the same time next week.